Okay, so I probably could have actually done the middle episode earlier. I figured around turn 100 something would be a good call, but apparently I'm doing this a little bit faster. So yeah, apparently a whole bunch of crap just got sacked down here by random various people, like, say, those random Norse things that just ran up from the south, making them not very Norse. But yeah, so we just took a whole bunch of stuff. We got peace with the dwarves because they decided that that was probably a better idea than continually fighting me. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just continue along the last little bit. And yeah, I just grabbed up all this stuff here, and it was enough to get me the final level of our stupid-ass tree, which is apparently something that we're supposed to be doing, so that's good. It's going to take us...
have not gone unnoticed, my lord. Dark forces are now massed.
Well, that's retarded.
Us. They come to destroy the Oak of Ages. Protect it at all costs, for it is the essence of life within Ataloran.
Well, okay, god damn it. So, this would have been nice to have known like 10 seconds ago before I hit that stupid button. I think I'll be able to get 2 armies back to the Oak of Ages in time, but what I probably actually want to do is wait 1 turn, have these guys down here in either Paravon or Aquitaine, activate this, attack this army, and then go from there, because I don't really want to do this with just defending the Oak of Ages sort of thing here. I'm not even sure if they're going to be burning stuff along the way either. So, yeah, this is not one of those surprises that's really that interesting or pleasant. Like, what the hell, game? Alright, hold on a second here. Alright, so, yeah, had to skip forward even more turns than I thought I did, but I was going to have to, because Kolek went around and just wrecked Grinstad, and I had to drag armies all the goddamn way up here because they were a billion miles away. Feldorf is going to get sacked by these jackasses over here, but you know what, we're just going to go ahead and hit the button to cause all the problems anyway at this point in time, because I don't really give a damn. Oh hey look, we've spawned a whole bunch of shit. Great.
Dark forces are now massed all around.
I might have put these guys in the wrong spot, but I can probably fix that.
Protect it at all costs.
Yeah, so that's enough of that.
Not gone unnoticed, my lord. Dark forces are now
ooh, I can still get this guy without getting the other one. I could also get this one without getting the other one. Why is this guy saying... Shut up. Shut up. There we go. Okay. Good. So we had another army that was heading up north, but I didn't really care to wait that long. So he's heading on up there. So I basically had this, like, right on top here. But, yeah, we can go ahead and probably kill this one. Then turn over, kill this one, potentially. Depends on if they run or not. Fairly scary army that the Cygor is there. The Minotaurs aren't too big a deal for me right now. This army's not necessarily perfect against this type of composition, but these guys don't really have a ton of cavalry. They've got a little bit. So I'm not sure if I need to double team these guys or not. Might be better for me to try and double team this one and see how it goes. Ooh, this one's got Bestigors actually, so yeah, we'll double team this group with the Dragon army as well. Yeah, unfortunately they've consolidated together a little bit. What do we want to do here?
These are dark times.
Yeah, so if I attack there, I won't get the reinforcements, so I do have to move one of these armies up a bit.
You need me?
Okay, so should be okay right there. I don't have access to the ability that lets me attack these guys without dragging in something else, but it's okay. So there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to run this with 2 full-stack armies per side, but looks like auto-resolve is heavily in my favor. What likely is happening is the game's calculating in all of these veterancies that I've got here, because look at all this Solar Chevron stuff there. So we'll just auto-resolve that one, get a close victory. Keep adding to our treasury, because this is like our only positive income at this stage of the game. Alright, so... sure, whatever, as far as that goes. I might even want to get this guy to start moving towards that. Let's get Growth of Forest either way, but if I can get the Snapping Branch, then I can actually start taking out these kinds of armies a little bit more easily. I'm just gonna have Dirthu run these guys down, I think. I don't need both armies for this part. And this is gonna be, like, really easy at this point in time. Alright, so that's 1 stack down. At this point in time, basically it's just wave assaults after the Oak of Ages, and if you can kill all these stacks before they can really get there, then you don't have to worry about it, but I'm losing like 3,000 per turn. I need the money. I've got over 100,000, but I mean, still. Alright, just keep Goomba stomping these asshole armies here. Yeah, should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah, there we go. I still got some mercs in this force here that I could get rid of, honestly, but... Alright. And then he gets another level there. Still can't even get open branches. Let's keep getting Nature Self. Generally speaking, you do still want to just keep getting other stuff promoted there. Okay, we've lost a decent number of troops here, it looks like. I'm not necessarily sure how well it's going to go if I just go ahead and attack into this army. This general is pretty damn good, though. Level 18 with a dragon, and then we got all these full upgraded forces with all the upgrades. Like 72 armor on internal guards and stuff like that sort of thing. Wildwood Rangers with 72 armor, like all that stuff's pretty damn powerful. Alright, let's give it a go. Should be able to do this. Technically speaking, I think this is the harder hitting out of the two armies anyway. And it looks like I can just auto-resolve this. Like, auto-resolve should not be this heavily in my favor. These units benefit a lot from these upgrades that I have, but not like that much. I guess the dragon also counts for a hell of a lot, so... Alright, and let's run these guys down too if we can. Alright, no. So hopefully what's going to happen is this other Beastman army is going to get diverted away from Feldorf and instead head straight towards the Oak of Ages. What I probably want to do because of that is maybe get these guys to start scurrying back towards the Oak of Ages itself. And in any event, I probably need them actually more around... Oops, shit. More around here anyway. So what we're going to do is actually have them head towards the Craig Halls of Findle. And what we'll do is we'll underpass to Grimhold and then see what we can manage from there to see if we can intercept these guys. Alright, so in 10 turns, we'll win the game. So, you know, it's kind of okay. Nothing really too amazing. We do have opportunities to, like, lose all our stuff, though. So, you know, it's not really ideal as far as that goes. Bretonia is all that's left of Bretonia. So they're missing all their individual provinces at this point in time. And the Empire is actually gone. So... we're currently ranked. The dwarves are actually the most powerful faction in the game right now, but I think that, like, I've been kicking their ass whenever we fight them, so I don't actually know how much of a lead they have over us. And once I start getting a lot of dragons, it becomes a lot easier, but it takes a while before we actually have a lot of dragons. We're at peace with them anyway, so it's not like they're likely to attack us. They're pretty steadfast. If I could get a peace agreement with them, though, that would be ideal. Or not a peace agreement, but a non-aggression pact. That would be pretty ideal. Tons of Chaos Agents just running around the map this time of the game. It's just one of the things about it. I could get to the point where I go and attack... Oh yeah, he's beelining for the tree. Good. That saves Feldorf. I'll probably garrison these guys there and then try and take maybe Wissenberg or Averheim or both. But there's lots of undead around here. That's primarily actually what ended up taking out the Empire was undead. So, good for them, I guess. Still down quite a lot. That's fine. Still getting our shit kicked in by income, and our income being too low. Let's grab this. Get those clay pots. Why not? Plus 50 plus all of the bonus percent modifiers. We'll jump these guys over to Peldorf. That'll get us back in positives for the happiness there. Alright, we got a bunch of levels up here. But yeah, we'll probably do a bit of a skip ahead pretty soon here. I don't really need to be doing too much here. Gonna keep on upgrading Propagandist for these guys because, in all honesty, the Chaos Corruption is annoying. Alright, this guy down here. Let's get a little bit of the Assassin just in case an army pops in there. I level up Assassin as a secondary sort of defensive thing just in case someone decides to get fresh with me and I need to kill them. Alright. This guy just barely getting away from us. Wood Elves do actually get a bunch of army-based speed boosts, which is why I'm able to get so close to this guy, despite the fact that he's sort of outrunning me there, but even then I can't really easily catch up, especially because they get to, like, run away and then they get to choose to retreat. That part really hurts. I might get these guys to come down to Montfort, though. Looks like I should use the underpass as well. or the woodland or whatever. That way I can just avoid that attrition there. I can always hop back to Helmgard if I didn't end up not needing to go there, but should be okay otherwise. So, yeah, at this point in time, I really don't need to keep expanding. I might want to, just for the hell of it, but I don't really feel like it's probably that good an idea, necessarily. Alright, we'll head you guys over to the Craig Hall's Findle. I think this is Findle himself anyway, so, you know, it's his Craigie Halls, but, alright. Where did I build an Azra? Oh, right, that's what... I was thinking that was a different thing. Alright. Let's just hit next turn there. So, yeah, I've been stagnating on techs for quite a while here, and it would be kind of nice to actually get some technologies. But I would have to keep taking more territory, probably by declaring war on the undead, but it's a really bad idea to do that while Chaos is rampaging through everything, being absolute knockers about it, because they are actually quite tough. Looks like they're having a bit of a hard time cracking through those undead, which is weird, because undead garrisons and undead forces in this game are really crappy. They've fled up towards the Bretonnians, which is really strange. I might trespass to just kill them so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm not sure if they're actually interested, though, in sacking any of my territory, because there are a couple opportunities there where they could have just sacked my stuff. Ah, for crap's sake. Okay, we're not going to do that. Alright, yeah, here they are. So what's probably going to happen is he's going to do a hop to over here. And since this army is pretty incomplete, my army from Findle should be able to easily crush this. These are pretty elite Wildwood Rangers, Starfire Shaft archers and stuff like that, although Starfire Shafts don't matter that much against the Beastmen, so it's not really something I'm going to worry about personally. These guys were keeping them in the Wildwood stance because it removes attrition, and I needed to move there. So if you ever hop into a place that has tons of corruption or tons of attrition or something like that, you can actually put yourself into the Forest Paths stance and then hop to somewhere, and not only will you not take any attrition on the way there, but you also won't take attrition for being in that territory. So if we hop into regular here, you can see I'm actually losing a ton of troops every single turn there. I'm going to switch to camp now, though, since, well, it doesn't really make, honestly, any difference there, but should be fine. But, yeah, I think we just wait to see what these guys do. They're going to probably beeline for the Oak of Ages. Even if they get past Findle somehow, I don't really think there's any way they could. It would actually be pretty easy for me to take them out just with the garrison, because that's a lot of Ungors, and Ungors in this game are complete and utter trash, so... Alright, yeah, I can actually reach these Beastmen here. I'm going to try and do it. It's going to piss off the Bretonnians a little bit, but what the hell are they going to do about it at this point in time? They're pretty much gone.
Making my way.
So I just want to drive these things, Beastmen, further and further away from my borders. And I can't get them there, but, you know, I can just go ahead and pop March Stance and head back to Castle Baston. So that's what we're going to do there. So this army's probably going to replenish its numbers quite a bit by just raiding or something like that. I don't really know what's going to end up doing, but it'll probably come back a little bit stronger a little bit later. I've got lots of land here, and Jagged Horn tribes just keep spawning down here, which is really annoying. Actually, I can't remember which tribe spawns down there. Might be actually Morgr the Shadowgrave. It might just be vanilla Beastmen instead of one of the sub-tribes. Well, either way, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Dwarves have so many full-stack armies, it's kind of ridiculous. They have got tons of territory, though. They've got basically all the southern Badlands, and the dwarves actually have really good economic buildings. And because they've got so many provinces that all are allowed to build full economic, they can have, like, gigantic armies. Which is sort of how dwarves win in this game, is just by having the most money. Being able to actually sustain, like, 8 full stacks. Oh, shit, they're heading towards Karak Norn. Okay, that's interesting. I think they'll be able to reach Karak Norn next turn, too, and I don't have anything that can really stop them. Well, like I said, the garrisons around my core settlements can actually take out these guys, so I should probably have just moved Findle to counteract that. I don't really care about this. I don't really recruit that many, of the Dryads anyway, since they're kind of crappy. I've got a couple, but not that many. Nature Salve. And I think Nature Salve here as well. There we go. And how much Chaos Corruption have we got here? 11%? Yeah. The floor value is 11.1 apparently, so that's what we're going to end up with. Place still counts as untainted, though. I think it has to go below 80% before it counts as tainted.
These are dark times. We have an accord.
Alright, so we can get to Karak Norn right here. These guys will probably hop on over somewhere else instead of actually fighting me there because they're cowards and bastards. We can take this force from Paravolon, though, and have them start moving to counter. Just do this, get to the Waterfall Palace, I guess. Okay, apparently I just barely can't reach the Waterfall Palace in that stance there. I guess we're gonna have to force march or something. World routes. Yeah. Alright, so... the one nice thing about, like, Ultimate is that people aren't gonna be able to get there using any of this stuff. Ooh, even that won't get me there. Okay. I think the world routes are actually a little bit closer. While I'm here, I could actually get... actually, no, I can't. I need Amber for that. I was thinking of getting the Treekin. Getting Treekin lets Dorothy complete one of his quest lines there, so... Alright, so we got ourselves a good position to deal with a lot of stuff here. There's the army of Archaon the Everchosen himself. I could probably actually pretty easily beat him if I combined these two armies here. The only problem is that getting there is going to cause a lot of attrition because there's a lot of chaos corruption in this region, so until I get that cleaned up, I can't really move out that easily, so I'll have to wait till he either attacks me or he gets killed by those vampires in Schwarzhaven, but I don't think there's actually anyone there in Schwarzhaven. So... yeah, they've just got the basic garrison. Cryptors and Black Knights are pretty good units, but they're nothing compared to, like, Chaos Assault units, so... and, like, I don't find that the Undead are actually all that necessarily good at defending its sieges and stuff like that, so... the morale bonuses mean a little bit less for them. The ones I find sort of really benefit from are actually Bretonnians. A lot of the defensive bonuses allow them to sort of use those cheap but still really good peasanty archers to pretty good effect. Got some vampire counts lurking around my territory. I don't know why. They're taking attrition. Okay, we're seeing a couple of the Chaos armies heading towards my southern colonies there. Carcassonne over here. There's another goddamn... okay, well, like I said, just... Beastmen keep spawning. I don't know. We have to send one of my armies down southwards. I think he's heading towards Kingsglade, though. I don't think he's going to stop by to say hello to my other stuff. Okay, that's fine. Yes, this is where I have to be careful. If I get hit by both Sartorial the Everwatcher as well as Archaon, I'm going to be in some pretty serious shit. If I'm lucky, these vampire counts are going to attack him, try and take him out beside that sort of thing. Because I can take out Sartorial's army by itself, I just can't take out both. Plus my Theodorf army here is actually one of my strongest armies, but still, even then, I'm not necessarily too happy with taking that attack there. Alright. Well, let's get these guys to head south. Try and hunt down... I'm pretty sure this is Morgar the Shadowgrave. Generic Lord, potentially? I don't actually know who's leading that one. Alright, well, whatever. Not my problem, until it becomes my problem, which it will soon. Alright, that's Kazrak's force. He's sort of retreated. I managed to sort of fend him off to the north there. Now, Montfort actually has to more worry about the north reaches here, so we're going to head them back over there. And yeah, there are indeed the Beastmen. I just sort of have to keep the north under control here to a certain extent. I don't need to do too much to do it either. Alright. Yeah, the only problem is that while I'm on this defensive stance, I'm not going out on the offensive anywhere. Do I have enough money to last me the turns required for me to finish the Oak of Ages? Only 6 more turns? I would imagine I do. I can't really get rid of any of my armies right now either, so that's kind of what sucks. By the way, I'll probably just skip ahead a little bit, because I'm not going to be doing anything unless I get attacked by Sartorial. Or Archaon, either of those guys, but I do kind of need another army to reinforce along Feldorf, because if I'm not defending there, I'm kind of in trouble. Looks like the vampire counts got completely completely friggin' trashed by Archaon's army there. But they've got another stack heading towards there, and Sartorial is heading towards actually my larger fortification, so... yeah, he's managed to sack Shortsaven, and I'm being attacked by Sartorial. So I've got 2 full stacks plus Garrison here, versus just his 1 army here. Yeah, the fact that he's got the 2 Chaos Chariots and the Chaos Knights is a little bit problematic. He's also got those Hell Cannons, of course, but what I'll probably do is sacrifice the Garrison units to try and fire at his stuff as he's approaching. Or I can just auto-resolve this, honestly. I should probably just auto-resolve it. It's supposed to be like a big climactic thing, this fight, but, like, eh. Screw climaxes. We do this the anticlimactic way over here on the Yukitsu times. Alright, so that earns me enough money to last me like a turn and a bit. And what's probably going to happen is he's going to go bash his head against that place yet again here. So we just have to make sure that Archaon the Everchosen isn't freed up, because he'll keep bashing his head over and over again against that Schwarzhaven. And so long as it's still standing with those armies that they've got, I don't have to worry about him. It's as soon as they fall that I have to worry about them consolidating both Archaon and Sartorial's armies together, at which point I'm kind of screwed if they decide to attack me, so I kind of have to make sure that doesn't happen. So if Archaon's actually done attacking Shortsaven, then I have to go attack him, Sartorial, right now, finish him off, and be done with it. The sort of music change when you get to this point in the game is kind of annoying, actually. I'm not a huge fan of it. Alright, so... Shortsaven still resides in the undead hands. Their bony grasp. So I can just wait until Sartorial sort of bashes himself against me. Yet again. Or I could try and go hunt him down. So it's up to me making that decision there. We'll get another of the Force Roar here. So I kind of want to go hunt him down, honestly. That sounds like that would be more interesting. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure that he'll suicide into my colony, so it probably makes more sense for me to go do this. The only problem is, look how much friggin' attrition I'm going to take. It's actually quite a bit. We can actually try and guess how much we would take here, but it's not actually that easy necessarily. There is actually a tech. It's actually an orc diplomacy tech that lets you figure out how, or become immune to attrition, which is kind of funny to me. It's like, you learn from the orcs how to not take damage, and as a result the orcs like you a little bit more. I don't think that's actually how that's supposed to work, but, you know. I'm pretty sure we'll still outnumber Sartorial once our army gets there if we do it this way. And because we've got Wildwood Rangers in decent numbers and then Eternal Guard with the extra armor, we should be actually okay. This guy's the one that has the super good Eternal Guard with the 92 armor, so... I think even with the damage here, we should be okay, but, like, it's risky. It's just risky. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, we lost a decent number of troops on the way there. Looks like, actually, we don't lose any troops on the way there. That's really weird. We're supposed to. Alright, let's just anti-climax that. I think I actually have to beat him in a real battle to unlock him, though. Maybe I should have unlocked him the conventional way just for the extra chance of unlocking him, because I think that's how you unlock him in the campaign, or in multiplayer. Well, either way, I don't really care since I don't use him. Or even if I had access to him, I wouldn't really use him. Shit, okay. I guess we send these guys up this way. And you guys down this way. Alright, so the Oak of Ages right now is like the most ridiculous place in the old world to assault. It's got like 2 treemen, a whole bunch of treekin, a whole bunch of glade riders with hagbane tips, a whole bunch of wild riders with shields, some glade guard with starfire shafts, some way watchers, and then a full stack army sitting on top of it. Yeah, it doesn't have walls, but that has still got to be the game's best garrison. Alright, so we'll last like another 3 turns worth off of that money that we just earned off Sartorial's corpse, but you know, we don't really have to worry about it. It's just if something goes wrong and I actually do lose the Oak of Ages or something like that, I can recover technically. It's just harder, obviously. Alright, so I think both Archaon and Sartorial are dead, so... least I'm hoping Archaon's dead. I'm not 100% sure about that one, actually. God, these agents running around everywhere just wrecking all my stuff. Go away. Yeah, so here's some random-ass Ray herd.
The lady must weep to see her people brought so low.
Yeah, they want 3,000 bucks for a non-aggression pact. Up yours. See, I can actually afford to go to war with those guys to a certain degree. They cannot afford to go to war with me because I know there's stuff wrecking their shit right now. So, as long as that's happening, I don't have to worry about them. Alright, these guys are taking attrition because of all the undead corruption, so I don't have to worry about them. Yeah, my garrisons keep getting assaulted. Alright, whatever. The Doomtide. They will always rise again. Okay, so yeah, we've actually managed to stop that Chaos Onslaught completely, apparently. And what's going to happen is it's going to be some turns before they show up again doing the same thing. But there should be actually pretty much just tons of stuff laden to waste to the north of us. The other thing that's possible is that I can actually use this as a moment to start taking over a bunch of undead tainted spots here, which could be pretty beneficial for us. If I take Schwarzhaven, I could, like, do the really, really ballsy thing and take probably Schwarzhaven, Averheim, and the Moot all in one turn, basically, by moving there via the world routes in one turn. So we'll go ahead and do that, I guess, just declare a surprise blitz war against the undead. Not care that we're trespassing at all here. And then we have this one. I'm contemplating leaving them here, because this way I can sort of strike it. Because I can reach Averheim anyway. And I could also use this as a way to threaten Wissenberg instead, and also defend against both of those provinces if they decide to come this way. I do need to worry a little bit about Wissenberg to a certain extent, but the thing is, like, these aren't actually the same vampire counts. There's two vampire factions here, and I think this would actually constitute almost all of this vampire count's territory, so we can probably do quite a lot by just getting there. I don't think I can reach these guys with a standard march stance, so I can. I'd have to have enough move afterwards to catch them again, which I'm not sure if I do, but hopefully we do. It's pretty far. I don't think we're going to catch them. Yeah, no. I'm going to click on there just to make it so I'm as close as possible to these guys, but I'm going to try and chase them down, I think. He's going to probably actually just world routes to Grimhold. Even though I'm supposed to be, like, on the back foot defensive right now, defending the Oak of Ages, like, I kind of want to be moving aggressively here. Oh, there's another Chaos Horde. That's strange. I thought we were done dealing with these guys. Oh, it's Archaon the Everchosen. I thought he was gone. Apparently we can auto-resolve this one, though. Again, probably owing to better veterancy and better abilities on Orion as compared to on Archaon. What's this he's got here? Mark of Nurgle. Interesting. He's supposed to be Chaos Undivided, but whatever. I guess they didn't have enough infantry on that one. Sheer numbers counts a lot more than things like a giant or hell cannons or something like that. Just gonna actually kill the captives here. So that's gonna make it a lot harder for me to take Schwarzhaven, because that was actually quite a lot of troops that I lost. So I might head back to Grenstadt with those guys and just attack two places. God damn it, where are all these goddamn beastmen coming from? Like, I kind of know, it's supposed to be this endless tide sort of scenario, but it's still stupid. It'd be nice if they came from a place that is not, like, directly under my control. Like, if they came from Nuln or something like that.
That I must listen.
Defensive Alliance, up yours. I don't really care about those guys, they're like a one-province minor. Even if they were on my side, it wouldn't really do much. Ooh, we got the Wild Hunt. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could easily trash Averheim and get a ton of money for doing it. The one problem is I don't know that I could actually trash them in one turn, because I'm pretty sure they're a walled city. Over here, on the other hand, let's go ahead and grab Could get striking branches if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to, so we'll ignore that. We'll take Nature's Salve. Yeah, so what I'm probably going to do here is just let Archaon bash against Schwarzhaven, or Schwarzheim one more time. Get those guys to heal back up to full in like one turn, basically. So we'll be taking some attrition here as we take out the Moot. I should probably actually take out... I should have actually sent this guy over towards Averheim, so I'll wait till he heals up and send him, since he's allowed to do an instantaneous siege, thanks to... Actually, no, that's not the one. Dirthu can, shit. He's completely the wrong place. Okay, well, whatever. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough to actually catch these guys, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to have these guys chill back here. They're going to head towards the World Tree anyway, and I've got plenty of defenses around there, so... Just head him to the Oak of Ages. Alright. Take Champion. Plus 8% assassination chance. It's kind of useful. It's not great, but it's kind of useful. Alright, looks like those guys sort of ran off somewhere, so I don't need to worry about them anymore. These undead, I'm not sure what they're up to. Looks like the Bretonnians and the undead are actually attacking one another for some reason. Which is probably not actually... like the most ideal time to be doing that sort of thing. I don't really get why that happened, but okay. Alright, well, either way. I think that that's going to be enough for the time being. I'll be back to you guys once we get a little bit closer to the end. Okay, so yeah, here we are doing the thing. We got one Beastman herd sort of roaming around by our end goal there, but should be okay. They're just sort of gonna do whatever it is they're gonna do. I don't really know what, but we've got the Oak of Ages, the garrison there, and we've got Dirthu sort of cleaning those guys up. Sort of went back there, but hopefully we'll be able to survive this, whatever it is that's gonna happen. Still got vampires and chaos roaming around all over the place. Ended up not taking these places just because I found out the vampires were sort of allied with each other, so would have had to have taken out both of them at the same time. Okay. Sure, buddy. That's a great idea. Good job. Alright. So they'll pay for a turn. Still suiciding Beastman armies towards the Oak of Ages, so I think they're just going to actually keep ramming into it. I probably don't need to run down their armies at all, as long as I've got a strong garrison. Not sure how long I'm going to have to do that, but it's technically a rank 5 Oak of Ages now, so I don't think I need to do anything else.
Back to your empty halls, dwarf.
I don't really need to do anything here, and they're only offering me 500, so I'm not going to accept that offer. So I think this should be the end victory condition for these guys. I don't really remember, though. I wasn't really paying too much attention when I was looking at the end game goals thing. Enemy killed in battle, blah blah blah. Defense of the Oak. Win the following battle. Defense of the Oak. Oh, shit. Okay. Interesting. So... Oh. Okay, so that's not the quest battle. Okay, let's see here. Not sure how to activate this particular battle. Ah, I see. Okay. So... I actually have to send some armies over towards there. You know what? I'm going to use a mixture of this guy's army and Dirthu's army. Now, the thing is, I don't actually remember if I'm allowed to use more than one army at a time for this. I don't think I actually get reinforcements when I do this. But if I do, then, you know, we can probably overpower this pretty badly. Wow, I'm actually still in the negatives, even though I got the cap level thing there. That's kind of silly. Okay, so next turn we'll be able to send in 2 stacks, and if I can't use 2 stacks, then what's likely the case is I only need 1. So, the only problem I got with this particular stack here is that these units are not that good, so I might actually get rid of these 3. Or, what can I get for regiments in a renown? I can only get 2. So I might replace them with those 2, though. but what I could also just do is consolidate the best units from Findle's army into his army, and that would probably actually be the smarter choice. So let's go ahead and do that. Dorothy himself is actually pretty freakishly strong, so let's go ahead and do this here. Okay, so obviously want to move all of the Wildwood Rangers into here. We don't want any of these Dryads, because Dryads are kind of suck. We don't want any of the Glade Guard, in particular the Glade Guard with the regular bows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need one more unit to go this way, so we'll bring in a cavalry unit. Okay, so Eternal Guard with shields are really good, but Wildwood Rangers are a little bit better. I don't think I need those horse archers, so what I'm going to do is replace them with ground archers. That might be a bad call, but I don't really know for sure. Then we'll go 3 the Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. It's not necessarily that much better, but there's like a few units in the Beastmen hordes that I would much rather have the Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts over, so that's what we're going to go with. And that's what we're going to do. There's a decent chance that I'll be allowed to use both armies anyway, but no reason to risk it. Okay, so yeah, now we just hit this again. Trellin apparently has a skill point, whoever the hell that is. One of my generals, it looks like. Okay. Let's go with that. Ah, that's her. Okay.
Lady of the Azrael.
Wasn't paying attention. I probably could have gotten a dragon. Actually, no, this is the person that does have a dragon. Okay, well, whatever. Probably want to keep you near Castle Baston, honestly. Alright. One of the other things I could potentially do is have a whole bunch of agents in that army. But I don't think we'll cheese it quite that hard. Like, this theoretically is the biggest climactic showdown battle for the Wood Elves, so maybe it is going to be something that requires many, many stacks of really, really high-quality troops, but I mean, if it requires like 5 stacks, then they've really screwed up, because my computer will literally not let me play that battle. Military Alliance, I'll gain 3 amber, and they'll pay me $1,000. Alright, sure. Why not? I'm not going to be able to attack these guys for quite some time anyway, so I might as well do it. Ooh, lots of places around there are ruins. Okay. My next campaign of war would probably be against the combined undead. It's just that I can't really afford to go attack them right now while I'm dealing with all this shit, so I'm just going to ignore them for the time being. Von Karstein's being allied with the other vampires is kind of annoying, but if it weren't for that, I'd be able to do it. Just because it, like, sort of threatens my northern reaches there. Yeah, you know what, sure, I don't really care right now. Gives me the opportunity to also declare war coordination targets, but don't really care too much about war coordination. Alright. Stop trying to do this shit. Alright. So we're gonna get our Craig Halls of Findle army to head on over here.
Proud son of Athelloren.
He's by far the weaker army of the two. And okay, I can't actually use the Wildwood to get there, but looks like I can just walk. Yeah, I'm not seeing a reinforcement symbol, so I probably am only allowed to use the one army, which is actually kind of good, because I want to have a battle that I could realistically win with just these forces rather than having to use multiple stacks, because this way I know I'm not having to use like 9 different stacks here. We'll give flaming attacks to our Wildwood Rangers. I think over here is what we'll do. I wonder why these guys count as spear infantry and these guys don't. Weird. Alright, well, whatever. Alright, so we got one army, that's a real crap stack. This one's a much higher quality stack with a lot of cavalry and stuff like that. The Giant's a bit of a problem. Malagor the Dark Omen is actually a really big problem. Or sorry, not Malagor. Malagor the Dark Omen is not that big a problem. Morgor the Shadowgave is the real big problem. Apparently I've got a humongous balance of power in my favor though, so let's just give it a go, I guess, and see what happens. Hypothetically, I should actually be playing fairly aggressive with my unit compositions here, just because these Wildwood Rangers with their humongous bonuses to armor and stuff like that should be able to chop through a lot of units really, really quickly. So it might be a good idea for me to try and just blitz my way through the front lines of my opponent there. I'm not going to be able to do too much with the Winds of Magic. What I'm probably going to have to do is keep spamming plus armor on Durthu himself. So that'll be fine, I think. Looks like we got a fairly decent defensive position. What's really weird here is, like, it's called the Defense of the Oak. You should be allowed to also use just the garrison for this particular one. Like, it would be nice if I had that. Even if they increase the amount of enemies I had to fight, that'd be fine. Because the garrison you'd think would be an automatic in this one, but whatever. Alright. This would also have kind of been nice if I had had, like, a dragon-mounted lord or something like that with a dragon or two. Like, I bet if I wanted to just be absolutely silly, I could have gone into this with, like, 4 dragons instead of this. Like, just replace, I don't know, these guys with 4 dragons or something like that, and that just would have just completely shat all over these guys. That would have been kind of funny. Alright, so, I don't know, maybe I'll just wait till I get back here. I don't know. Great horde of beastmen besiege the Oak of Ages. There are Brayherds present from every corner of the old world. Yeah, Morgur has summoned to him the Dark Omen, Malgor, and even Kazarek the One-Eye is said to be stalking the field. Beastmen are here to enact a final bitter blow against the roots of life itself. Should they succeed, all will be plunged into a hell beyond reckoning, and blah blah blah. Alright, so, yeah, I don't think that that's actually that serious. It's just a tree. I've seen Avatar. You can blow up the tree and it's fine. I actually really hated that movie, like, just everything about it. I don't know, I didn't really like it. Just because it felt so reductionist of, like, so many other movies that were exactly the same. It's like, it's Dances with Wolves in Space, or Pocahontas in Space. It's basically the same story. And, like, humans aren't really that friendly, like, especially a big, large, anonymous corporation where there's no news reporters, because there were no news reporters on Pandora. So basically what happens is, like, some news report comes on one day and it's like, oh yeah, there's been an unfortunate biological accident on Pandora and every single living being on it has mysteriously been wiped out. And there'll be always, like, people who, like, don't give a crap because it's really far away, and that's about the gist of it. Yeah, and that is exactly humanity. You know, the nuclear holocaust on poor native peoples would basically be how that story ends. Not that I'm supporting any of that, it's just that that's probably what humanity would do, because humanity are dicks. And we have atomic bombs, so, you know, that always helps. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing here, is being the hippy-dippy things, except we're up against a bunch of animals, so I mean, you know, this is like your rose bush attacking the neighbor's dog sort of thing, so it's not really quite analogous to the tree from yeah, I really didn't. Everyone was like, it's such an important movie, blah, blah, blah. I don't really get why. It's like a very, very repeated. And I don't mind repeated stories if they add something new, but that one didn't. Alright, inspiring speech. I wish this had a real inspiring way. Also, my frames are 0% sign of the good things to come. For a game that takes this long to handle getting to the cutscene, relative, it's not actually a true cutscene in the sense of, like, randomly showing you stuff. I think those are actually my units over there. Let's just ignore this anyway. See if we can. Anyhow. God damn it. Hold on a second.
The Oak of Ages stands strong in the face of...
Okay, so yeah, it was just a pan-in sort of thing across the whole sort of army, whatever. So yeah, these are the forces I've got access to. A lot of them are actually quite elite, so they should be fairly powerful. I think that one Wildwood Ranger would be able to, like, chew through quite a lot of enemies, but let's not get too overconfident by that. Oh wow, yeah, I probably can't actually run this battle while Fraps is going, just because these games are fairly intensive as far as all that goes. Which is weird, because, like, this isn't too large an army, and their armies are not too large either, but... either way, I'm going to go with a pretty standard double line formation here. Alright, so... got ourselves a fairly nice defensive position here, so we can actually push up with our archers just a little bit. In fact, I'm going to push up to here with our Glade Guard. And then just defend them with spearmen. Okay, Centaurs with throwing axes are heading around that flank there. They got a random-ass general over that away. Okay, I'm going to have to focus our shots around that way. I can't really deal with these guys with any of my other units. Cavalry chasing them are just going to get burned down through kiting. So, just going to have to do it that way. Their general's getting pounded by the armor-piercing arrows, which is actually really good for me. Ungor Spearman over here. Alright. Alright, so just gonna sort of charge forward here because I don't want my archers getting too beat up here. Alright, our Wardens of Scythal here are getting kind of pounded on, but that's fine for the time being. These Eternal Guards should be able to easily clean out these guys. And I think that their sort of like front line here is not really anything to be concerned about either. Alright, let's go ahead and buff up these Eternal Guard here and charge up Grek whatever. Alright. Cast Warhounds over here. Ooh, they've sort of slipped past there a little bit. No, not quite. Okay. Alright, so let's pour the fire into those Centaurs with the throwing axes. Those throwing axes are actually quite deadly, so you have to be pretty careful about them. Dirthu himself ought to head back, actually. I don't want him running too far away from our forces here. I could actually chuck this potion, or chuck this thing down at their general or something like that, but... Ooh, or at the Centaurs. If I can get the game to run, of course, that would be lovely. That was a pretty good shot there. Alright. Alright, so Kazarak is taking the field. I don't know where he's going to be coming from. Centaurs with throwing axes have come back onto the field over this side. Hopefully we'll be able to break their morale before they can do too much damage there. We're just playing this very defensively right now. There's a couple of reasons for that, but one of the big reasons is, of course, that we don't have unlimited resources in this particular fight here, so it's much better for us to take this one fairly slow. I'm going to turn the corner of these guys, and I'm going to charge these guys over here. Get our general in on Gruk with the whatever. What we're probably going to see is them coming around our other flank with their other forces here, so... Alright, let's get these guys facing that away. Let's get these guys sandwiched. These Ungor Spearmen are basically screwed. Oh, they've charged a whole bunch of crap into my Wildwood Rangers. And by crap I mean like really bad units. Alright, so I'm gonna have to bring up another unit of Wildwoods here. Now my general here, Dirthu, needs to keep casting this on himself here, just because I don't want him taking like any damage basically. Let's kill these Minotaurs as quickly as possible. As soon as we get those guys killed off, we'll be in a pretty good spot as far as that goes. Alright. I actually probably should have brought more missile units here in this fight. Oh shit, giant. So the giant should get shredded down pretty quickly here. Centaurs, these are not the ranged ones though. Alright. Chewing our way through those Bestigors pretty easily. Did we kill that giant or something, or where'd he go? Gruk is dead, or something. Malagor the Dark Omen is heading his way here. Where's one of my other Wildwood Riders? Or Wild Riders here? Let's take these Bestigors and shatter them if we can. Kazarak over here, we should be able to finish off pretty easily. One of our Spearmen units is pretty much dead, though. I'm gonna turn these guys around. I'm gonna actually just turn them off and fire at will for this. Oh, they're actually almost out of ammunition anyway. Ooh, that was a good hit from that spell there. Is that a chariot? No, that's Kazarak in a chariot. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I think I'm out of arrows on pretty much everybody except these guys here. But Centaurs ought to get taken out pretty easily. I'm glad I don't actually have to defend the stupid tree. Like, if it was one of those sort of escort mission-y type things, I'd be pretty pissed. Alright. Here's Malagor the Dark Omen's forces. Taking the field. Centaur's over there. I kind of want to retreat my forces here. Yeah, I keep spamming that spell there for some damn reason. Just gonna let one sacrificial unit stay behind and potentially kill off the rest of Kazarak here. Yeah, I think we got him. It's like one Minotaur over there, I don't really care about that. Alright. Got a couple of fresh units over here. Might want to finish off. Actually, no, I don't want to finish off those Minotaurs. Okay. What we got over here? Gore with shields, Gore with shields. Like, these all look like kind of Gore-herdy kind of things there. Nothing really to worry about. Cast Warhounds with poison. I don't mind charging them into that. Start heading towards that Ungor herd. Got a couple Eternals in there. Alright. Alright, you need to start getting charges in on these guys fairly quickly, rather than waiting. And I need to sort of get around behind them with these, with some cavalry of some sort here. The reason is that I have to get charges around these guys into those archers. Because I don't want these archers just firing at me forever. Alright. So there we go, we've managed to get some hits here with this really elite cavalry. They'll be able to deal with these Ungor raiders probably. Guess Warhounds with poison over here. I'm basically going to be fighting those guys in melee combat with these guys anyhow, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And let's go after Malagor over there. Oop, and we got these riders as well over here. Ungor raiders broken over here. Gonna have to do some hammer anvils here. Alright, get after those guys. That poison's gonna be a bit of a nuisance, but nothing too bad. Alright. Head these guys around back here and get a really good rear charge against these guys. Alright. So I don't think they've got really enough units left. Alright. Morgar, yeah. Here's the really tough part. Because now a whole bunch of my units are going to spontaneously start turning into Chaos Spawn, which is really going to suck. Fortunately, there is a limit to how many of my units you can do that to, so it's not as big a deal as it could be. But, like, they save him for last for a pretty good reason. If they used him first, he would not be that intimidating. Alright, so I probably need to consolidate all of my forces together. Oh, cool. Spirit of the Forests come to our aid. So we've got some, oh yeah, there's the garrison, I guess. I guess it just shows up at the last phase or some shit like that for plot reasons. Alright, so what I'm going to do is retreat back all my units here. Except for, I guess, these guys, these Eternal Guard with shield. I'm going to actually suicide some of these guys forward. The reason is that Morgur is going to turn them into Chaos Spawn, but he's going to turn them into Chaos Spawn that are going to basically disintegrate over time anyway, so it's not like it really matters. I think these guys we can afford to lose as well. So he might not actually do it. There might be, the AI might be smart enough not to fall for this. I actually can't see where their leader is. There he is. Alright, I think my units are going to break before they can get there anyway, but happens. Alright, so Razorgore Herd, we're going to start firing at them a little bit with the last of our arrows, even though we barely have any. Gonna have to get Dirthu really doing a lot here, I think. Alright, there goes like the last of my arrows, and when I say the last of my arrows, I mean I have no more arrows in this entire army. Alright. Let's get after these Razorgores here. And let's just form like an assault group down the center, I think, here. Just do it like this. The AI, like my AI ally is just suiciding into them, so I might as well suicide into them as well. Alright, so these guys are going to be quite good. Going to use Lux's Shroud on these guys to get them in there faster. These guys chasing after these Chaos. Actually, let's go after this Razorgore Herd. Alright. Get my defense up with Dirthu here. After all, he does gain pretty big bonuses for having heavy armor against these guys. Alright. Let's get a charge there. Oh. Looks like one of his units spontaneously became invisible again. Okay. Is there anything worth using this on? Not really. Use it on these guys over here, just for the hell of it. Alright. So there's some Razorgores around here somewhere, but probably shouldn't worry about them all that much. Alright, I think this is going to basically be a mop-up at this point in time. Just too many powerful units coming in. Morgur's not necessarily that good against things that, like these highly elite Loix Tricksters here. He'd be pretty good against someone like Dirthu himself, but that's not really the fight he's in now, is it? Alright. Now he himself has got limited morale, so he does break. So at this point in time, it's just a matter of like running him the hell down, but yeah, that was surprisingly a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay. I guess I was a little bit over-prepared in terms of my army comp, but they still took out actually a couple of my units, so I guess it could have gone a lot worse. Alright. Alright, so that took forever to do whatever that was going to do. Let's go ahead and do that. Don't really care about that there. And, yeah, so that should be, I think, most of the campaign. I don't know, we'll find out. I hope it is, because the, oh yeah, no, we did finish, which is good, because, like, literally as we're sort of doing this, Total War Warhammer 2 actually came out. So I did manage to finish this just under the wire, basically. So that's lovely. As you can see, like, we're just doing nothing for forever and then suddenly explode outwards. I do think that this is one of those ones where it would have been more interesting and more, you know, just a better game if you could move out immediately instead of having to wait like this, but unfortunately that's just not really the way it sort of goes. Kind of an interesting world map here and sort of what's going on around us, but nothing too crazy. I can see just suddenly a whole bunch of stuff gets ours, and then after that you just sort of sit around a little bit there, wait around a little bit, and then just suddenly we're going to have a bunch of stuff become ours again. I think they're showing us like each individual battle that I can't tell if these are ones I fight. I don't think they are ones I fight. I think they're just battles. Start expanding out a little east as well, a little bit north if I recall correctly, through that territory a bit later. Yeah, this is only turn like 43 here. So this is why I cut out most of the campaign. I'm really not doing that much. And you can see most of my enemies and the other factions in this game aren't really doing that much either. There's a lot of times where like just something gets taken by somebody else and I just like, okay, pop in and just grab it for myself. So, you know, Crooked Moon over there, I think we wipe them out pretty early on. Or do I wait till something else kills? I think I'd take them out. Turn's just ticking by. With Wood Elves, you're like sort of isolated and in sort of the center of the map, so chaos isn't really actually that big a deal for you. I think we start confederating by like turn 100 or something like that, which isn't terrible. It's not great either, but it's not actually a bad time. Bretonnia actually attacks us, I think, around this point in time. There's that, yeah, that was Bretonnia, so they start taking some of our stuff. We actually have to move all our stuff, like, all the way over there, start taking their stuff out there. I actually push pretty deep into there, but I stop short, because I think at this point in time I'm also at war with Astalia. Loads and loads of, oh yeah, so I started confederating actually by turn 60-something. That's a lot earlier than I thought. Alright, failing all of our missions because I don't really care about them. You can get some stuff done by focusing on those, but I find that often it's better to do it otherwise. Burn down a city, take it. I think I swing my attention south at this point and manage to secure a deal with Bretonnia, and I think that Mousillon actually just gets really ballsy and just drives straight through my forces in a bunch of places. We take out the Winter Palace by confederating there, and things continue on. Take out, yeah, we did actually kill the goblins there, which is pretty nice. Managed to start taking out stuff in the south there. Lose a little bit of terrain there to the goblins, retake it from the goblins, so a little bit of back and forth, not really a big deal. I like how they list like every single stupid item that I get, which is so many friggin' items. Yeah, we're starting that push down to Astalia, and the reason again is that those coastal cities are really worthwhile for the Wood Elves, more so than it is for other factions. So it's just really good for us. The reason we're not confederating faster is that you take a huge public order penalty whenever you're confederating for like 8 turns, and you sort of have to rebound your public order after you finish confederating and let it recover to a big degree there. Yeah, so a bunch of my shit gets burned down. I don't really care too much. We're still focusing on Astalia. It's a slow drive. The terrain down there is really bad, but we do manage to just sort of take it all out there, and as we're getting sacked by Mousillon. So, like, the gains from Astalia are sort of getting counteracted there, but the thing about Mousillon is that their armies are really weak, so they're actually not that hard to take out. So we're also, you know, just taking other bits and places. The reason we're taking these other places is so that we can get that amber, because that amber is going to give us the opportunity to rebuild our Oak of Ages, and that just really is the whole point of the game there. Alright. Yeah, we can see tons of stuff just happening, but none of it's too important. They tell you, like, every time someone gains a level, I think, basically. You can just see how, like, depopulated the north is becoming. I think that the dwarves actually could have probably blitzed through terrain a lot faster than they ended up doing, because they colonized quite a bit. At this point in time, Mousillon's just gone. Like, they shouldn't have messed with me. They should have realized I was a much stronger faction. Border Princes, I think, are our next target. I could have fought the dwarves, but they have mountainous regions, which just aren't really that useful for me. And at this point in time, like, we confederated all of the Wood Elf groups, and yeah, I do finish confederating by, like, turn 100, so I guess it's when I finished confederating now that I think about it, yeah. Still, we managed to take out some more terrain. Some minor dwarfs there, I think, if I recall correctly, that were harassing some of my stuff. I think they were burning down some stuff earlier, but we control a pretty good chunk of the old world at this point in time. Yeah, at this point, like, so much stuff is just happening all at once that it's kind of really awful. Yeah, so this is where the dwarves sort of explode onto the map there in a real sort of Technicolor glory there. Some of these pillages that I'm doing where, like, you see a terrain briefly become unoccupied is because I'm, like, burning a settlement down and then rebuilding it. And some of these are worth a lot of money. It's the primary reason why I had over 100,000 in the bank at the end of the game, so yeah, we're just managing to slowly push our way forward through the Border Princes. They've got a lot of coastal cities. Dwarves at this point in time have a surprisingly large number of coastal cities, which is a bit odd for them, but, well, I guess not that odd, but they're able to do that, but still. You'd think that that wouldn't be a terrain that they're allowed to colonize, but I guess they are. At this point in time, we can take out some of the dwarves as well. Take out one of the Border Princes, keep expanding. At this point in time, we're rolling like 4 armies in the south and like another 4 armies in the north. We lose a bit of terrain there to some random raids, but we quickly take it back. It's not really that hard. We push a bit north of pretty soon here, I think. but we're basically done at this point in time. Yeah. It's just getting a lot of levels and traits every time is what it keeps telling us about. And every time we recruit a unit as well. I could have kept fighting the dwarves, honestly, but it wasn't worth it when I could have just moved up north and repopulated a few depopulated regions and gotten the necessary resources for the Oak of Ages that way instead. So you can see here, like, this is where Kolek Suneater comes in, stops me from doing my objective. Because I sort of knew I needed armies around the Oak of Ages after I sort of did that thing where it's just like activated. It's like, oh, well, I get completely screwed if I do that, so I guess I better reset. Because that's too many Beastmen armies to have to defend the Oak of Ages against, I guess. Although their AI sort of works in a stupid way. I probably could have kept going from there just because they suicide into the Oak of Ages over and over again, but it still wouldn't have been that interesting. After that, you just wait till you've fully cleared all of them out, and then you finish the game through the battle, so... Yeah, at this point in time, like, we're still just sitting there waiting for the last little bit of the game to finish there. This is where we finish the Oak of Ages. And, yeah, in the game, Defense of the Oak. So that is our playthrough of that. Went pretty quickly because I tried to do it fairly quickly because I needed to finish it before we ended up playing Total War Warhammer 2, which I'm going to be taking a look at basically as soon as I finish loading it, which should be right now. So I hope you guys found this enjoyable, and of course, as always, hope to see you guys all next time.